Hello and welcome to the training session on personality development. Developing your future today. Personality development is the relatively enduring pattern of the thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that distinguish individuals from one another. The dominant view in the field of personality psychology today holds that personality emerges early and continues to change in meaningful ways throughout the lifespan. Adult personality traits are believed to have a basis in infant temperament, meaning that individual differences in disposition and behavior appear early in life, possibly even before language or conscious self-representation develop. The five-factor model of personality has been found to map onto dimensions of childhood temperament, suggesting that individual differences in levels of the big five personality traits, neuroticism, extroversion, openness to experience, agreeableness, and conscientiousness, are present from young ages. These inherent personality traits and the different soft skills interact with each other and make a person what he or she is. It helps bring out a number of intrinsic qualities of a person, which are a must in any responsible position. In simple words, personality is a set of qualities that make a person distinct from another. The word personality originates from the Latin word persona, which means a mask. In the theatre of the ancient Latin-speaking world, the mask was just a conventional device to represent or typify a particular character. Now let's take a look at the table of contents to get a gist of what we are going to learn. Introduction. Developing self-confidence. Appearance. Body language. First impressions. Meeting and greetings. Handshake basics. Communication skills. Corporate etiquettes. Interview process. Unique. Conclusions. What will you learn? Self-confidence. Communication skills. Corporate etiquette. Interview process. What is personality? Personality is defined as the characteristic set of behaviors, cognitions, and emotional patterns that evolve from biological and environmental factors. While there is no generally agreed upon definition of personality, most theories focus on motivation and psychological interactions with one's environment. Here we will understand the difference between personality and character. Personality. Personality refers to the range of distinctive personal qualities and traits of an individual. It represents who we seem to be. Character. A character refers to a set of morals and beliefs that defines how we treat or behave with others and ourselves. It represents who we actually are. Personality is different from a character in a sense that personality reflects the outer shell, whereas the character shows the inner self. If you combine your personality and your character, the result will be who you are in reality. Personality is who we are and what we do when everybody is watching. Character is who we are and what we do when nobody is watching. Understanding personality development. Personality development is the relatively enduring pattern of the thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that distinguish individuals from one another. The dominant view in the field of personality psychology today holds that personality emerges early and continues to change in meaningful ways throughout the lifespan. Developing self-confidence. Step 1. Developing self-confidence. The following steps are included in the developing self-confidence. The importance of appearance. The role of body language. Making an impression that counts. Meeting and greeting. Handshake basics. The importance of appearance. It's important to equally dress well and appropriate in the professional world. Dressing well will not only increase your self-confidence, but it will also impress and attract other people. The quality of your work might be the most important thing, but your appearance also leaves an immediate impression on your colleagues, including management. The importance of appearance. Things to remember. Respect your company's rules. Dress to impress. Dress code for men. Dress code for the women. Grooming. Let's take a detailed look on these points. Respect your company's rules. Companies, by and large, are conscious about how their employees dress up. It is because the way they dress and groom in their work environment forms a perception in the minds of the clients, suppliers, and others about not only them but also the company. Why dress code? The reason. Dress code. It has a social significance, with different rules and expectations being laid out to suit different circumstances and occasions. Impression clues. The dress code of a person provides significant clues about various attributes such as their gender, income, occupation, social class, and attitude towards fashion, tradition, and comfort. Avoid the following: ill-fitting clothes. Clothes too big give you bloated look, and too tight-fitting clothes accentuate the body in a non-formal way. Avoid the following: wearing short socks. Short socks, or drooping socks, expose skin and that distracts attention while crossing legs or sitting down. Avoid the following: low-cut or plunging tops. Just as with short skirts, this distracts an interviewer. Avoid the following colors: light green, yellow, red, etc. don't go well in corporate circles. Avoid the following clothes with sayings, pictures, or designs. This lends a very informal and non-serious look to the interviewees. Avoid the following poorly maintained shoes. Your shoes should be clean and polished. Avoid the following not dressing formally for business social events. Even dinners at the boss house are formal business occasions, so dress up accordingly. Avoid the following improper grooming. Unclipped nails, odorous of breath, perspiration and unkempt hair all are red checks. The importance of appearance. Dress to impress. While eccentricity might be allowed and even embraced in some settings, most workplaces are conservative and want you to be too. Corporate dressing. Corporate dressing refers to the art of dressing formally and correctly. Corporate dressing helps an individual to dress according to his work profile and organization culture. Formal dressing, if done correctly, goes a long way in shaping one's personality. Men attire. Wear single-color shirts. Stripes on shirts look good, but they shouldn't be too bold or too thin and too close to each other. A white-colored shirt is a popular choice, but even a pink or a pistachio-colored shirt is perfectly acceptable as business formals. The length of the trousers should be just right. It should fall well and not bunch up at the bottom. Tapering trousers are in vogue, but make sure that it doesn't taper to the extent of hugging your calves and ankles. Dark blue and solid grey go well with most of the shirts. Avoid self-print or striped trousers. The suit should match your trousers. If you want to try out different coat colors, don't sway beyond charcoal grey, dark blue, brown, fawn. About half an inch of the shirt's sleeves should be seen. A black suit looks too formal and is less appropriate for job interviews. The sleeves of the suit jacket should not cover that of the shirt completely. While it is not entirely necessary to mention this, but still avoid jeans or denims for interviews. Men attire. The naughty bit about ties. A double knot tie is the right size to wear. A larger tie knot can give you a more confident look, while a symmetric one looks elegant. Choose a tie knot that fits the collar opening of the shirt. For example, a small tie knot like the four-in-hand suits shirts with a narrow collar opening, while a large tie knot like the Windsor suits shirts with a wide collar opening. As for the ideal length of your tie, the tip of the wider end should be at the same level as your belt. Men attire. The naughty bit about ties. And be wise in deciding the color of the ties. Ties with dark colors are preferred. For example, dark blue and dark red. Needless to say, that it should be coordinated with your shirt. The pattern and color should not distract the other party. So, no large polka dots or bold, shiny patterns or pictures. It should look formal. Silk ties are a good choice. Women attire, Indian wear. While salwar suits do look elegant, managing the stole can be a task, unless it's of a material that stays and you don't have to keep adjusting it in its place. Women attire, Indian wear. The dress code options available to Indian women are shown below minus. Clockwise from the left minus kameez, bandhgala, kurti, and western. Women attire, Indian wear. Below is a montage of the pastel colors that ladies can use for their reference while choosing the color of their kurti and salwar. Women attire, Indian wear. Traditional nose pins are acceptable, provided they are small and pretty. Don't wear any gaudy stuff. As for necklaces and earrings, small is beautiful and smart. Women attire, Western. For most sectors, Western wear is the perfect choice. Formal shirt and trousers, and low-heeled pumps, preferably black, or any dark color, no purple, please, would go well. And if your pumps are peep toes, then please pedicure your nails. If you want to paint them, only light colors. Depending on the position you have applied for and the industry. Sari is a good choice for tourism, hospitality and aviation sectors. A nicely pinned up cotton sari looks elegant when paired with a conservative cotton blouse, half sleeves, preferably. The accessories, men's. Gentlemen. If wearing a black belt, then match it with black shoes, a brown belt with brown shoes. Know that shoes should be polished. No pointed long shoes. The accessories, ladies. Ladies. No fancy heels, stilettos, and bright colors. Women could wear a medium-width belt with formal trousers. Choose a plain black belt, and resist fancy buckles. Makeup could be kept to a minimum. The importance of appearance, grooming. Arriving at work with your hair looking like you have just rolled out of bed might not violate company policy, but it'll have co-workers talking about you, and not in a good way. The importance of appearance, grooming. Sloppiness is a sign of disrespect for yourself and your job, at least in the eyes of management. It's important to not overlook the importance of clean teeth, clean nails and a proper haircut. The importance of appearance, grooming. Don't wear rumpled or dirty clothes, clothes that are too loose or too tight, untucked shirts and filthy shoes. These might be small elements of appearance which many tend to be overlooked, yet they're essential ones. The importance of appearance, grooming. Make use of an anti-dandruff shampoo to ensure clean and healthy hair. Make sure to groom yourself regularly. The role of body language. Body language is defined as the non-verbal communication between two individuals or a group of individuals through physical behaviors such as limb movements, facial expressions, eye movements, other bodily gestures and postures. Importance of body language. Assertive behavior. A positive body language helps the person to be more assertive and assists in putting his or her opinion forward more easily than the others. Positive body language is liked by other people and hence, the person carrying a positive body language gets more attention and favor in any discussion. Assertive behavior. Non-verbal communication. Research says that our communication consists of 35% verbal communication and 65% non-verbal communication. Our body language helps others identify our emotions, status and even our lifestyle. Non-verbal communication. Relationships. Negative body language can give way to a lot of misinterpretation and misunderstandings. Maintaining a body posture and absurd body movements that is offensive to the other person can ruin a relationship. Relationships. You need to understand the emotions and mood of the other person and need to customize your behavior accordingly. If your spouse is in a good mood, then it is okay to laugh or tease her occasionally. Relationships. However, the same activity can be misinterpreted as sarcasm or irritable behavior if the spouse is not in a good mood. This can lead to issues between couples and can also lead to damaged relationships. Public speaking. In public speaking, body language assumes an altogether different impact. The impact factor of such speeches also is reduced by a large fraction as the audience gets 35% of the entire communication but misses the remaining 65%. Hence, it's highly important to have proper body movements and posture while speaking on stage in front of an audience. Making an impression that counts. Every entrepreneur knows that first impressions are important, but you may not know just how little time you have to actually make one. Within the first 7 seconds of meeting, people will have a solid impression of who you are, and some research suggests 1/10 of a second is all it takes to start determining traits like trustworthiness. Making better first impressions. Making the most of an in-person meeting. Showcasing a storefront. Presenting a website. Making the most of an in-person meeting. There are different situations when making a first impression counts, but let's start with the most traditional, meeting someone in person, whether it's in a client meeting or at a networking event. Dress and groom appropriately. This should go without saying, but people will judge you on your looks long before they judge your words or actions. Showcasing a storefront. If you have a physical store or establishment, you'll also need a way to make a first impression with new customers and prospective customers who walk past your location. First, make sure you've invested heavily in your business's signage. This is often the first thing people will notice about your storefront. Showcasing a storefront. You'll want to choose something creative and original so you stand out from your competitors, but also something that falls closely in line with your brand. Presenting a website. If your business exists primarily in a digital environment, your website will be your main source of first impressions. Website visitors won't make an effort to read your entire site's content before making a quick assessment about staying, so keep things concise. Presenting a website. Include photos and videos that evoke a feeling. Those 50 milliseconds may not be long enough to guarantee even a tagline will be read. Instead, convey emotions and the power of your brand through photos and videos. Self-introduction. Introduction is the first question asked by the interviewer, which can create a lasting impression on him, so be creative as much as you can. In your intro you need to sell yourself. Consider yourself as a product and tell all the best features about yourself so that your customer buys you. Self-introduction. Start with a hello or good time of the day. My name is CASI. Add credibility. Follow it with a pleasant statement. It is nice to meet you. I am happy, pleased to meet you. It is a pleasure to meet you, Mr. CASI. When you are making the introduction, look at the person you are speaking to first. Speak clearly. State your introductions courteously. Introduce people by the names and titles they prefer. When you are being introduced, listen carefully and focus on names. Respond graciously. Use the names by which people are introduced. It's okay to correct a mistake right up front. Wait until all introductions are complete before conversing. Order of introductions. Turn to and say this a client name first, then this anyone in your company including your CEO second. Turn to and say this your boss or higher up name first, then this a person of lower rank in the company second. Turn to and say this your friend's name first, then this another family member second. Turn to and say this an adult name first, then this a child second. Turn to and say this a woman name first, then this a man second. Turn to and say this your guest of honor name first, then this others attending the event second. Handshakes. A greeting. An act showing that you have made an agreement, in which two people who are facing each other take hold of and shake each other's right hand. Shake up and down no more than 2 or 3 times. Avoid excessive pumping, shaking, as it becomes annoying and distracting. Don't linger for too long. A normal handshake lasts about 5 seconds. If you hold someone's hand too long, it can become an embarrassing social faux pas. Do understand the proper handshake and practice it with your friends or family members to get it proper. Never offer your hand first, in such a way that makes the person feel uncomfortable or inconvenienced. With this rule in mind, it is not a good idea to be the one to initiate a handshake. with someone of higher status. If the other person's hands are full. Ending a handshake. The handshake evolved as a gesture to say hello, say goodbye, seal an agreement. So, it always needs to be warm, brief, firm, friendly, and positive. Communication skills. The purpose of communication is to get the message across to others clearly and unambiguously. Good communication skill has become the most important factor for growth in the corporate world. Good communication skill. An increasing number of companies in today's business world is making it mandatory for employees to undergo communication skills training, as it is directly proportional to productivity. Communication skills. 4 ways of communication. Styles of communication. The model of communication. Goal setting focused. It is driven by fast-paced and result orientation. The communication strengths are speaking directly and candidly. The questions types are direct, which is mostly what? Example, what goal are you working towards? Lifestyle desire. It is driven by fast pacing and relationship orientation. The communication strengths are open and engaging. The questions types are enthusiasm, which is mostly who? Example, who do you enjoy networking with? Information need. It is driven by moving carefully and result orientation. The communication strengths are providing specifics and details. The questions types are logical, which is mostly why? Example, why do you appreciate detailed analysis? Stability needs. It is driven by moving carefully and relationship orientation. The communication strengths show empathy and warmth. The questions types are serving, which is mostly how? Example, how do you spend time with your family? Goal setting focus. A person, like Frank Butler, who is focused on goals is interested in opportunities to expand his or her world. Lifestyle desire. A person who is focused on lifestyle desires engagement, fun and making connections. Information need. A person with a need for information likes to analyze and focus on the tangible. Stability need. A person with a need for stability is interested in safety and living in a calm environment. The different types of communication. Communication style refers to the way in which the act of communicating is carried on. Styles of communication may differ from occasion to occasion. Each style serves a different purpose. The knowledge of communication style is required in order to understand which one best suit or which one to use on different occasions. It is also required to know the effect of each communication style on normal social interactions and, of course, on business conversations and interactions. There are 4 major styles of communication, which are: aggressive communication style, passive communication style, manipulative communication style, assertive communication style, aggressive communication style. In aggressive style of communication, one always stands up for one's rights, simultaneously overlooking others. Sometimes doing so may result in the violation of the other's rights. Aggressive communication style. Aggressive communication style is presented rather in a forceful and hostile manner and always involves the I syndrome. Example, I am right, my points are more valuable than yours, I am superior, etc. Aggressive communication style. Aggressive communication style. They give an impression that they have something to contribute and others have little or nothing to contribute. The aim of aggressive behavior is to win at any cost. Passive communication style. Passive communication style stands in contrast to aggressive style in meaning and uses. The passive style of communication allows the communicator to put others' rights before his and thus reduce his own self-worth. Passive communicators always consider themselves to be inferior to others. They negate their personal feelings, rendering themselves unimportant. Passive communication style. Passive communicators always consider themselves to be inferior to others. They negate their personal feelings, rendering themselves unimportant. Passive communication style. They fail to express their needs, wants, feelings, opinions and beliefs and express them in an apologetic and self-effacing manner. They have an overly soft voice with an apologetic demeanor. Passive communication style. They create a negative impression on others by their non-verbal signals. They shy away from maintaining eye contact with people. Their downcast gaze, stooping posture and excessive nodding of the heads may indicate lack of drive and motivation. Manipulative communication style. People adopting the manipulative communication style are often scheming, shrewd and calculating. They are adept at influencing and controlling others for their own benefits. Manipulative communication style. They have a hidden message when they speak and many times other persons are unaware of their hidden intention. Manipulative communication style. They act cunningly and tactfully and influence people in an insidious way such as sulking, shedding fake tears, indirectly asking for their needs to be met. They sometimes become successful in making people feel sorry or obliged to help them. Assertive communication style. Assertive communication style is regarded as the best communicating style. It is more rational and proper than other styles of communication. This style teaches one to stand up for one's rights while having respect for others' rights. Assertive communication style. Those communicating with assertive communicating style give importance and regard to others as well as to their own rights. They deal with people on equal terms. Assertive communication style. They exude confidence in whatever they do and always own up responsibility for their actions. Talking straight on the face, looking directly, always at ease with oneself and others, relaxed and smooth body movements are some of the strong characteristics of any assertive communicator. Assertive communication style. Assertive communicators always buzz with life and activity wherever they go. These people are positive with a high self-esteem. As they give respect to all and they also get the same back in abundance. The model of communication process. The model of communication process. The process of communication refers to the transmission or passage of information or message from the sender through a selected channel to the receiver, overcoming barriers that affect its pace. Elements of communication. The different elements in the process of communication. Sender. Message. Encoding. Channel. Receiver. Decoding. Feedback. Decoding. Decoding refers to interpreting or converting the sent message into intelligible language. It simply means comprehending the message. The receiver, after receiving the message, interprets it and tries to understand it in the best possible manner. Message. Message is referred to as the information conveyed by words, as in speech and write-ups, signs, pictures or symbols, depending upon the situation and the nature and importance of information desired to be sent. Message is the heart of communication. Message. It is the content the sender wants to convey to the receiver. It can be verbal, both written and spoken, or non-verbal, that is pictorial or symbolic, etc. Encoding. Encoding is putting the targeted message into appropriate medium, which may be verbal or non-verbal depending upon the situation, time, space and nature of the message to be sent. Encoding. The sender puts the message into a series of symbols, pictures or words which will be communicated to the intended receiver. Encoding is an important step in the communication process, as wrong and inappropriate encoding may defeat the true intent of the communication process. Channel. Channels refers to the way or mode the message flows or is transmitted through. The message is transmitted over a channel that links the sender with the receiver. Channel. The message may be oral or written, and it may be transmitted through a memorandum, a computer, telephone, cell phone, apps or televisions. Since each channel has its advantages and disadvantages, the choice of proper selection of the channel is paramount for effective communication. Receiver. Receiver is the person or group who the message is meant for. He may be a listener, a reader or a viewer. Any negligence on the part of the receiver may make the communication ineffective. Receiver. The receiver needs to comprehend the message sent in the best possible manner, such that the true intent of the communication is attained. The extent to which the receiver decodes the message depends on his/her knowledge of the subject matter of the message, experience, trust and relationship with the sender. Decoding. Decoding refers to interpreting or converting the sent message into intelligible language. It simply means comprehending the message. The receiver, after receiving the message, interprets it and tries to understand it in the best possible manner. Feedback and its types. Feedback is the ultimate aspect of communication process. It refers to the response of the receiver as to the message sent to him/her by the sender. Feedback is necessary to ensure that the message has been effectively encoded, sent, decoded and comprehended. Negative feedback or corrective comments about past behavior. Positive feedback or affirming comments about future behavior. Negative feed-forward or corrective comments about future behavior. Positive feed-forward or affirming comments about future behavior. Etiquettes. Step 3. Etiquette. Etiquette means behaving yourself a little better than is absolutely essential. Will copy. Etiquette is a code of behavior that delineates expectations for social behavior according to contemporary conventional norms within a society, social class, or group. Types of etiquette. Social etiquette. Business etiquette. Corporate etiquette. Meeting etiquette. Telephone etiquette. Wedding etiquette. Bathroom etiquette. Eating etiquette. In the session we will be understanding the following etiquettes. Social etiquette. Business etiquette. corporate etiquette, meeting etiquette, telephone etiquette, social etiquette. Social etiquette helps you connect with other people. Social etiquette shows you respect the person you are talking to. Social etiquette doesn't preclude being honest, genuine and tough-minded, so long as we are honest, genuine and tough-minded in a considerate fashion. Corporate etiquette. Interacting with others in a kind manner with a friendly demeanor. When meeting someone new, make eye contact while greeting. Don't chew food with your mouth open and don't talk while chewing. Business etiquette. Business etiquette is about building relationships with other people. Etiquette is not about rules and regulations but is about providing basic social comfort and creating an environment where others feel comfortable and secure. This is possible through better communication. Business etiquette. Business etiquette consists of two things: thoughtful consideration of the interests and feelings of others. Being able to minimize misunderstandings. Business etiquette, key pillars. Business etiquette differs from region to region and from country to country. This creates a complex situation for people as it is hard to balance the focus on both international business etiquette and other business activities at the same time. Therefore, a wise step is to focus on some key pillars of business etiquette. Thank you note. If you want to differentiate yourself from others, then never forget to write a thank you note to your job interviewer or your client. This will leave a good impression and also reflect well on your company. Know the names. Give others respect by knowing their names, which will increase goodwill and communication. It is also worth management stepping back and acknowledging people individually for their good work, as this will enhance their self-esteem and increase motivation. Observe the elevator rule. Be mindful of saying appropriate things at a job interview or client meeting. Don't start discussing business with a client or interviewer as soon as you step out of the lift. By doing so, you avoid the risk of damaging your reputation. Focus on the face, not the screen. Never forget to switch off your phone and try not to use any other device just to prove you are a multitasking individual. In fact, in the world of business this is considered bad manners. Concentrate on the meeting and listen to what people are saying. Don't judge. Everyone is unique in their own way and uses a different approach to deal with situations. Therefore, if you disagree with another person's approach, instead of criticizing, try to understand it from their point of view. By doing so, you create a friendly environment. Always remember you get respect by giving respect. Corporate etiquette. Corporate etiquette refers to a set of rules an individual must follow while he is at work. Corporate etiquette refers to behaving sensibly and appropriately at the workplace to create an everlasting impression. No one would take you seriously if you do not behave well at the workplace. Corporate etiquette. What behaviors does workplace etiquette include? The way you relate to your coworkers. The way you relate to customers. Your behaviors while at work. What you wear. How you speak, communicate with people. The types of corporate etiquettes. Email etiquette. Office etiquette. Business card etiquette. Cubicle etiquette. Dress etiquette. Email etiquette. Email etiquette refers to the principles of behavior that one should use when writing or answering email messages. Email etiquette depends upon to whom we are writing: friends and relatives, partners, customers, superior or subordinates. Email etiquette: why to follow? Professionalism. By using proper email language, your company will convey a professional image. Efficiency. Emails that get to the point are much more effective than poorly worded emails. Protection from liability. Employee awareness of email risks will protect your company from costly lawsuits. Email etiquette. Emails should always be short, concise and to the point, like phone calls. The tone of the email should be conversational. An email should not contain any financial or personal information that you don't want to share with unknown parties. Email clients let you view email messages. Always reply within 24 hours and expect the same from the other person. The 5 C's of email writing: concise, clear, complete, courteous, correct. Email tone. The tone of an email is of utmost importance. Avoid starting an email with the words "Why?" Question mark. You have to. Can't. Just the name, Peter. Any other strong words that you would not like. Email etiquette is written so your writing skills are the only things that would matter. Office etiquette. Those who follow good office etiquette are promoted and given choice assignments. Be self-aware, use common sense. Never go over your supervisor's head. Obey your company's business dress code. Treat every employee with the same respect. Do not post things of an offensive nature. Reasons for firing employees: bad language, excessive workplace gossip, drinking on the job, leaving without telling anyone, too many personal calls. Office etiquette, do's. Show a healthy respect for colleagues' experience and expertise. Exhibit a positive attitude and know what your role will be on the team. How can I best assist? Leave your personal life at the front door. Inquire about the proper way to respond to co-workers, supervisors, clients, business letterhead, phone call, etc. Meeting etiquette meaning. Meeting etiquette refers to codes of behavior an individual ought to follow while attending meetings and discussions at the workplace. Meetings are an important part of corporates where employees sit together on a common platform, exchange their views and opinions and reach to a solution benefiting the organization. Mutually acceptable to all. Meeting etiquette, face-to-face. Try to find out what the meeting is all about. Never attend meetings without a notepad and pen. Always keep your cell phone on the silent or vibrator mode. Do not attend phone calls during meetings unless it is an emergency. Superiors must create an agenda before every meeting. Never be late for meetings. Be a good listener. Fiddling with pen or notepad is one of the major distractions in meetings. The one chairing the meeting must speak loud and clear. Never attend meetings in casuals. Meeting etiquette, one-on-one. Smile. Stand up. Smile. Make eye contact. Smile. Shake hands. Smile. Introduce yourself. Smile. Ask seating pattern if unsure. Ask. Meeting etiquette, do and don't. Take a moment to understand the following. Meeting etiquette, effects. Face-to-face. Non-verbal. 58%. Verbal. 7%. Tone of voice. 35%. Phone etiquette, meaning. Phone etiquette means being respectful to the person you are talking with, showing consideration for the other person's limitations, allowing that person time to speak, communicating clearly and much, much more. Your voice must create a pleasant visual impression over the telephone. Sit up straight. Take a deep breath. Smile and check tone. Between the second and third ring. If unable to answer, golden rule of 24 hours applies. Phone etiquette, managing call. When making the call, always identify yourself. Check, is this a good time to talk? Avoid. Yeah, etc. Speak clearly and watch volume. Match your speaking rate to the caller's. Do not interrupt. Do not multitask. Thank them for calling. Let customer hang up first. Phone etiquette, effects. Verbal. 40%. Non-verbal. 0%. Tone of voice. 60%. Business card etiquette. Business cards are a snapshot of your company, and people will get an impression of your company from the type of business card you have. Business cards are the staple of business success. Tips to business card etiquette. Make it professional. Most of us have issued employer-approved business cards, so you take what you get. If you are a budding entrepreneur and have your own cards, put some time and effort into selecting the proper paper stock, font, coloring, etc. so that it is a card that has the look and feel of professionalism. Keep them clean and crisp. The easiest method for keeping your cards in tip-top shape is to put them in a case for protection. Keep your card case fully stocked and keep it in a convenient place so that you aren't that person giving themselves a breakdown or frantically digging through their work bag searching for the card case when someone asks you for your card. Present it with two hands. Hold each side with your thumbs and index finger so that the writing is face up and right side up to the recipient. This makes it easy for them to read. If you cannot use two hands, say you are holding a cocktail, notebook, a file, etc. in one hand, then just make sure you hand it over so that it is face up and right side up to the recipient. Pause to look at it. Fourth, when you receive a card, take it, ideally with two hands as described above, and pause to look at it. This is a sign of respect, not a sign of weakness, so doesn't think they're thinking that you don't know their name. Take the time to burn that name into your brain to help you remember it. Then put their card away. Wait until later to jot down a few notes that will help you remember the person, the connection, the conversation. When you next run into them, you will look in control and at the top of your game. Writing on someone's card when you are still in their presence is considered rude. Exchange cards at the end of a conversation, not at the beginning. Following this rule prevents you from ambushing someone you don't know and handing out your card like a flyer to a free concert. Younger, More junior professionals can certainly ask to exchange cards with someone more senior, but only if you have the right hook. Did you get introduced and then started a work-related conversation, commenting on a trend in the industry, their last speech, or the like? Then, politely, go for it. Or did you just walk up to the VIP at a work conference, say hi and ask for their card? If so, then the answer is no. Don't be that person. They will likely hand their card over, but you'll look a bit boorish and they will likely never take your call. Cubicle etiquette. A cubicle is a partially enclosed office workspace that is separated from neighboring workspaces by partitions that are usually 5 to 6 feet tall. Its purpose is to isolate office workers and managers from the sights and noises of an open workspace so that they may concentrate with fewer distractions. Cubicle etiquette refers to etiquettes to be followed at cubicles. Be respectful. Knock on their cubicle wall, and ask first if your neighbor has time before you start talking. I know they may not look busy, but sometimes they could just be thinking. Your interruption could set them back in their work. Don't take or borrow things from a co-worker's desk just because the area is open, unless they have already told you it is okay. Staff who have desks in a common area often run into the problem of people taking their staplers, tape dispensers, scissors, or rifling through their desks in search of paper and pens, etc. Don't peer over the top of your cubicle wall to see what the next person is doing. Respect their privacy. Don't yell across the room. Walk over to someone to have a conversation. Avoid speakerphone. Discussing personal or confidential issues at your desk, even on the phone. Remember, your conversations travel. Make sure your cell phone is set on silent, or at least set to a low volume ringtone that won't disturb others. Avoid trying to talk to someone who is on the phone or sending an email. By waving your hands, using sign language, or talking louder, you are interrupting them. The interview process. What is an interview process? The interview process is a multi-stage process for hiring new employees. The interview process typically includes the following steps: writing a job description, posting a job, scheduling interviews, conducting preliminary interviews, conducting in-person interviews, following up with candidates, and making a hire. The interview process. The stages of the job interview. Introductions. Small talk. Information gathering. Asking questions. Closing. The interview process. Introductions. This is your opportunity to make a great first impression. Research indicates that interviewers make tentative evaluations of candidates in the first 2 to 4 minutes, so don't overlook this stage of the interview. Remember, first impressions are often lasting impressions. Remember that no matter who you are meeting, whether it's the human resources representative or your future boss, you should give a firm handshake, smile and introduce yourself. Smile, handshake, eye contact. Hello, I'm Eunice Davenport and I'm very pleased to meet you, Miss Smith. You may jot down the name, title of those you meet. It's appropriate to stand when you are being introduced. The interview process, small talk. This stage is aimed at developing rapport. It usually consists of casual conversation to put everyone at ease and develops an easy transition to the next stage of the interview. Typical small talk topics include the weather, the ease of your commute, or positive comments about the demographic, location or office building and/or office space. Keep small talk positive even if you had a negative experience. It can only go up from here. The interview process, information gathering. This is the part of the interview where you will be expected to give information about your background and experience and use it to sell yourself. You may include your elevator pitch. Your goal is to emphasize your fit and show how you can help meet the company's mission, goals. Provide details from your resume to build your case as a good fit. Cover information you believe is important, even if the interviewer doesn't ask you. Share your success stories, using the STAR method, to be sure the employer gets a strong sense of who you are and what you are capable of accomplishing. The exchange of information is aimed at covering three main areas. 1. Determining who you are. 2. If you can do the job, and 3. If you fit in. Usually the exchange of information takes about 20 to 30 minutes. Asking questions. Once the interviewer feels they have gathered the necessary information to make a hiring decision, they will usually end by asking, "Do you have any questions?" Always have questions prepared. This is your opportunity to clarify any information that might not have been clear and demonstrate your knowledge of and interest in the company. See upcoming section of questions. Closing the interview and following up. Be aware of clues that the interview is over. Leave on a positive note, make a final and enthusiastic statement about your interest in the position and the company. The 6-step interview process. 1. The shortlist. 2. The screening interview. 3. The first round interview. 4. The second round interview. 5. The third round interview. 6. The job offer and background check. Step 1. The shortlist. The first step in the interview process is to get shortlisted for interview. This may involve you sending a tailored CV and cover letter in response to an advertised position or going through an online application process. In some cases, you may be headhunted or called to interview on the basis of a strong referral. Step 2. The screening interview. Many companies now have screening interview to assess whether you possess the qualifications and general aptitude to do the job. This may be carried out over the phone or in person, usually with a recruitment agency or an in-house recruiter. The main function of the screening interview is to narrow down the number of candidates to be called for first-round interviews. Step 3. The first round interview. This is often the first time that you will meet your potential employer for the first time. Their objective is to assess whether you possess the skills, aptitude and experience to do the job. They will also attempt to ascertain whether you can do the job, are willing to do the job and how you will fit in with the organization. Step 4. The second round interview. The second round interview is normally where you get to meet different managers in the organization. The most senior hire from the first round will often be attendance in the second round to offer continuity to the process. Your interviewer will normally attempt to delve deeper into particular interesting items of interest from the first round interview. The key to the second round interview is not top-tier repetition and to reiterate and retell compelling stories emphasizing your unique selling points. Step 5. The third round interview. Some companies may call you back for a third round interview in order to be as close to 100% sure as possible that they are making the correct hiring decision. Again, the personalities may change for the third round and you may even be introduced to co-workers for the first time. By the third round you will be expected to possess a lot more knowledge about the company than displayed in the first and second rounds. It is important to showcase this extensive research to prove to the interview panel that you have done your homework. Some companies may go to fourth and fifth round interviews and beyond. Generally, in India the interview process does not go beyond 3 rounds. If the third interview happens to be your final interview, a good indication is if the owner or MD of the company is present. Be sure to bring along a list of references in case you are offered the position straight away. Step 6. The job offer and background check. The final phase in the process is usually a job offer contingent on your referees giving you a good reference and perhaps you providing scripts, copies of your relevant qualifications. For some positions and companies, employers may insist on a background check to ensure you are who you say on your CV or that you have no criminal convictions. If you are happy with the package on offer, congratulations. You have a new job. If not, there may be a bit of toing and froing between you and your employer to be in order to guarantee the best package. How to improve the interview process. Throughout the interviewing process, there is much debate by industry professionals on what are the best ways for businesses to improve their interview process. Attract and make better hires. One theory is that harder job interviews actually lead to better job matches. It turns out, yes. Candidates who go through a rigorous interview process oftentimes perceive that the company places a high value on finding employees who are a good match for both the position and the company culture. There can be various interview rounds, which can include phone interview, aptitude test, group discussion, technical round, HR round. Phone interview. Employers use telephone interviews as a way of identifying and recruiting candidates for employment. Phone interviews are often used to screen candidates in order to narrow the pool of applicants who will be invited for in-person interviews. They are also used as a way to minimize the expenses involved in interviewing out-of-town candidates. For remote positions, a phone interview may be the only one you have. Aptitude test. An aptitude test is a systematic means of testing a job candidate's abilities to perform specific tasks and react to a range of different situations. The tests each have a standardized method of administration and scoring, with the results quantified and compared with all other test takers. Group discussion. Group discussions form an effective tool for a company to check whether a candidate will be able to participate successfully in group activities and tasks. A company assesses a student's presence of mind, the depth of his knowledge, his communication skills and his ability to argue logically and express his thoughts in a group. Group discussion, meaning. Group discussion is a tool to determine if a candidate has the required managerial skills to work with a team or a group. The objective of a GD is always to reach to a solution of the given problem, which can be accomplished by establishing some semblance of order or structure in the course of the discussion. Group discussion, interview concept. GD panel is testing whether you know the topic well. Are you able to present your point of view in a logical manner? Are you interested in understanding what others feel about the same subject? Are you able to conduct yourself with grace in a group situation? Group discussion, objectives. G. Generating ideas. R. Reviewing policies and plans. O. Organizing teams/tasks. U. Understanding perspectives. P. Problem solving. D. Decision making. I. Information exchange. S. Strategic planning. C. Conflict resolution. U. Unity among people. S. Studying cases. S. Socializing people. I. Instruction. O. Oneness of group participants. N. Negotiation. Group discussion, preparation. Inculcate the good habit of structuring your thoughts and presenting them logically. Writing essays on a variety of topics is good practice developing thought structure. The only way to prepare is to read more, develop a keen interest in current affairs. Seek opportunities to discuss these in groups. Learn to respect others for what they are. Learn to be open-minded and recognize the fact that people think differently about issues. Train your mind to think analytically. Your GD arguments should have meat. Group discussion, myth versus reality. Myth 1. Candidates perform well because they are smooth talkers. Reality. Candidates perform well because they talk sense and there is sufficient meat in what they say. Companies seek a variety of skills in the aspirants. These comprise analytical skills, communication skills, team skills, ability to handle stress, decision-making skills, etc. Myth 2. Academic brilliance equals analytical skills. Reality. Students with lower academic achievements sometimes demonstrate better capability to relate their learning to practical situations. Communication skills are perhaps the most critical attribute of the modern manager. These include listening and articulation skills. Moderators look for the candidate's keenness and ability to listen to others. Mature managers are very good listeners because every time you listen, you learn. Myth 3. Good communication is about speaking a lot, speaking in a stylish accent and using big words. Reality. Good communication is about listening, speaking at the appropriate time, using easy-to-understand English and getting your point across in as simple a manner as possible. Do you cross the line from being assertive to being aggressive? If you are a good team player, the other members of the group will tend to connect with you. This will be evident to a moderator even amidst the chaos that marks a typical GD. Myth 4. People who dominate a discussion and reduce others to submission do well in GD. Reality. Candidates who work with the group, accommodate diverse viewpoints and assert themselves without aggression score high. Group discussion, do's. Be appropriate to the topic. Give your general views. Be short and crisp. Be accurate. Watch your volume, pitch and tone. Be assertive. Do's emphasize the right word. Be considerate to the feelings of others. Be conscious. Take your turn. Be an active and dynamic participant by listening. Appreciate others who have shared their views. Talk with confidence and self-assurance. Stick to your point and be favor of your points. Technical round. Technical interviews go beyond personal interviews as they test the subject learning of the candidate. What have you learned during the 4 years in an engineering college or your graduation? Can you clearly explain some important concepts? Can you apply these concepts in the practical world? These are some of the questions that are tested in the technical part of the interview process. HR round. In the HR interview, many students face difficulties, simply because they have not thought about their ambitions and about themselves. Before you appear for campus placement interviews, it is advisable to you to introspect and know yourself. Be articulate as to where you see yourself in 10-20 years. Describe your dream and ambition clearly. Do not show that you are taking up the job merely to gain experience and will shift as soon as you get a better one. Give a thought to your goals and be clear in your mind. Stand alone, stay unique. Be yourself because everyone else is taken. Oscar Wilde. Why stand out from the crowd? Generally, people are attracted to creativity and uniqueness. Uniqueness can make you more appealing by making you stand out from the crowd. Distinctiveness gives an advantage over the common thing and in competition as well. For similar products, you need to grab people's attention, but a unique product in itself is a point of attraction. Introspect on your uniqueness. List your likeness. All of us have the unique characteristics, so, take a notebook and write down your likeness, passion, quirk, and past experience. Prioritize your list. Now, thoroughly read your list and prioritize them, which one you like most and so on. Blend your uniqueness and your goal. Based on the above exercise, blend your most unique points with your goal. Thank you for attending the training session.